Alright, so we're gonna make some granola, and first things first, we got our recipe here, and I hand write most of my recipes because it's just what I do. So we've got 2 cups of oats, and let me grab a measuring cup because I know my measurements, but I'll go ahead and use the cup for you. So I keep my oats in this canister here instead of the cardboard canister, and that's because we had food moss at one point, and that was not fun to get rid of at all. So we need 2 cups of oats, and I got 1 here and second one. And what I had to do to get rid of those moths was just traps, to be honest. There you go. Just a little bit more than 2 cups, that's totally fine. So we'll patch this up. But those traps definitely helped mitigate the problem. Mitigation. Alright, and we need 3/8 of a cup of brown sugar. Just kidding. 6 tablespoons. Now I keep my brown sugar in one of these little canisters too. We just want to count 6 tablespoons in this case. 1, 6. Perfect. And a 1/4 cup coconut. And here, got stuck in the dishwasher one time. So, set that on something. And this I generally eyeball as well. Alright, that's about 1/4 cup. Quarter teaspoon of salt. And this one's kind of tough to do because salt is like a giant pour thing, and you're trying to pour it in this tiny little hole. So if you pour a little bit extra, that's not too big of a worry, as long as it's not the whole dang canister. That's drawing the line. Alright, and then we need 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. Now instead of cinnamon, I use apple pie spice or pumpkin pie spice, and that's because these things sit in the pantry for so long, and you're just like, I don't use this any other time than the holidays. Great other use for these is for your other spices, because you've got the allspice, you got the cinnamon, you got the nutmeg. Like, it just makes such a cool flavor combination, and you're only gonna find those types of things seasonally at the store, like pumpkin spiced granola or apple pie spiced granola, and that was a little bit more, but you know what, we'll go with it. And 1 tablespoon of honey. Now the honey I'm not going to put into a measuring spoon. You can if you want. It is kind of one of those sticky, icky things. So we're going to put in about a tablespoon. And see what I mean? It's all gross there. So let's take this up. And this is what we got in the bowl here. Looks like scrambled eggs almost, the colors. A little bit. Alright, so that's what we got. And this, I like to try to mix together first. I use a fork instead of a whisk or anything like that. And if you want, you just break your hands right in there. You want to mix up the honey with the oats and all the seasoning and the coconut and the sugar together as best you can. So if you gotta break in and get those pieces, go for it. It's your kitchen. Do what you want. You think this is well mixed enough. You want it integrated enough So I think we're good with that. And I'll go melt up my half stick of butter. I'll be back in a few moments. Alright, so now we got our melted butter here. And you want to keep an eye on that butter because it can pop and make a huge mess. Always cover your butter with paper towel, or if you've got one of those plastic covers for your microwave plates. And then just mix that in. And we can't forget, let's not forget our vanilla. And I forgot my vanilla last time when I made granola. It's okay without it. It's totally fine. But it just gives it that other little oomph that you need. Well around the flavors. And just kind of folding this in. Now folding is going like this and turning over, where some people like to mix across when stirring, which is fine, either method, but for this, I like to fold. So, we've got vanilla, and take that out instead of just eyeballing this one. Alright, there we are. Boop. And there we are, and just give that another quick fold, mix business. There we are. Alright, so we've got a little bit of foil going down. And you don't have to be crazy meticulous with the sides. And there you go. What we're going to do is dump out our granola. And we've got the oven preheated to 250. If you don't have a cookie sheet this size, that's okay. If you need to bake it in smaller batches so that you get the consistency that you want, 250. I bake this for about 15 minutes. And then I take it out, kind of move it around a little bit. Another 15 minutes after you move it, it's perfectly fine. There's like no need to do anything special. And you just, we'll take it out after the 30 minutes and be on our way to refilling the mason jars. So we've already taken out the granola and moved it around a little. Do a little shaky shake. And this is the second time taking it out. Now we're just gonna move it around some. Let these pieces begin to cool away from each other, away from the foil instead of sticking. Because that hot honey can, with the sugar, can really solidify on the foil. But you got the butter that's gonna loosen it. And voila. So we're gonna let that sit for a few minutes, cool off some, turn the oven off, and that's the granola. Now, I like to keep my granola in mason jars, and that helps it keep a lot better. And I've got a little bit left from my last batch that I made, and that's what it looks like. And we can't really see it all that well. There we go. All right, yeah, so you can see it's still got that same kind of consistency with the light crunch and lots of little broken pieces in there. Because you want that, you want it to be broken up in your yogurt or your parfait or whatever, however you have it on a smoothie bowl. Or we'll let this cool for a little bit. I turned off the oven already. I'm a huge stickler about that. And then it'll just get put into the jar and packed away into the pantry. Call it a day. Hey there, thanks for watching me make my favorite spiced granola. I've put the full recipe in the description and hope you'll give me a like and subscribe for upcoming videos. If there is a dish you'd like to see, let me know in the comments.